This is Kharkiv 1 year ago. People enjoy walking on Europe's largest square, children scooting, pensioners dancing to the sound of the saxophone, and young people meeting in the Central Park in the evenings. There are thousands of foreign students in the city from India, Japan, China, and other countries around the world. And this is also Kharkiv, and it also has a lot of sounds, multiple launch fire, mortars and air bombs. One of the residential districts, northern Saltivka, is the first to meet Russian artillery. It smells of soot and ash. In the craters caused by aerial bombs, one can find people's belongings, children's toys, washing machines and furniture.
The apartment is very damaged, everything is burned, everything is broken. Oh, it's a shame. For 20 years I have been working for this apartment and now I am left without an apartment, without clothes, without anything. I have nothing.
This is the kitchen. It used to be where the owners liked to make tea or coffee and then went to work in a hurry. And this is a living room where friends and family gathered and watched movies or played board games. And this is probably the wall bars when the children played. But now it is all gone. No walls, no windows, and no peaceful life.
No windows, no doors, nothing. Furniture that remained needs to be moved out. Whether the house to be demolished or not, no one knows.
Anton has a wife and 2 children, and now he is taking things out of the devastated apartment due to the shelling. A Russian air bomb fell on a nearby house. The shrapnel hit the windows of the man's apartment.
2 children, they are now in Krasnograd, and we will try to save something because we don't want to be left without anything either. We do not know where we will live next. What will they give us even if they take that out? It is uncertain where we will live until they give us something. While driving through Kharkiv, I'm in tears. I really want everything to go back to how it was before.
On the ruins of an apartment building, soldier Sergei Vasilyev sings. Before the full-blown Russian invasion, he was the frontman of the band Shadow of the Sun, and now serves in the armed forces of Ukraine.
This was a bomb attack because I haven't seen such destruction in other quarters. There was something similar but not as big. Everything else is just mine impact on buildings or tank shells. The war goes on. They didn't take Kharkiv and in fact already retreated. This is very significant.
And indeed, the Ukrainian army managed to push back and took a counteroffensive in the Kharkiv region. There are many villages in the region that were under Russian occupation and are now free. Locals rejoice over victories of the Ukrainian army.
I got in tears. That was a great joy, and the 27th were released. There were so many tears of joy.
How did you meet them?
How could we meet our own people? How can we meet our liberators? There were so many hugs, there was so much joy. I don't know how to tell you this.
Kharkiv region residents took it hard during the Russian occupation. People remember that period as a tragedy. The Russian army brought sorrow to the Ukrainian land.
Lena Ivanovich, we talked through the fence in the morning and they were already bombing at about 5:30 and she was gone. I came out shouting, "Are you all alive?" And they said they were all alive. And her husband came out and said Lena got killed. On March 31st, the man dug the grave and buried her. There was a woman and now she is gone.
This village, 16 kilometers from Kharkiv, was under occupation about 40 days. Only a few pensioners now live there. The rest of them had left.
Миша! А тут окон нету. И этих стекол нигде нет. Миша, иди сюда. Ты что, спишь?
Ой, да я не буду.
Чего не буду? Рассказывай, иди ко мне.
Такого страшного фотографировать.
Нет, не фотографируй. Иди. Расскажи, как нас, как мы живем.
Так и вы же рассказали.
Что я рассказала? Вы же старше, ты живешь уже сколько тут лет?
Я живу.
В хате. Ну вот
Я
расскажи.
живу в этой хате. Мне уже 85 лет.
For 85 years now I've been living in this hut, and the hut is 90 years old itself.
Я пережил Вторую мировую войну. Я пережил.
I survived the Second World War. I know how war was, I know how war is. I couldn't even imagine. I went to work when I was 15. I saw how Kharkiv was built. I saw here killed Soviet soldiers on one side, and the other side were Germans. And here stood the Russians, at that time Soviet soldiers. I got out from this cellar when I was 6 years old, and I still have the memory of the soldiers who died, so I do not want war.
Ну, поначалу мы неожиданно не зашли.
At first they came in unexpectedly, somewhere at around 4 a.m. They started a bomb attack, and then at about 11 o'clock the military equipment passed here, and later came back. Then the soldiers passed about 5 men. They asked about how we are going here. I said, war, how else it could be? They asked me, do I know who they were? I said, who? We are liberators. I said, who are you liberating from? And then they went. I went out of the gates, and that was nothing. Nothing to talk about them, standing with machine guns. All the houses around were burnt down.
Да, вот вылет. А я все время сидел на ней. Чаек попивал. Дальше. Крыша пробитая. Там навес, крыша тоже пробитая. Вот осколки летели. Осколки здесь лежат. Окна повыбитые. Вот тут мина не... Я еще выходил, мина не взорвавшаяся, я ее не тронул, а потом она, видать, взорвалась от детонации. Вот это вот ворота, вот видите, попробитые. Ну, короче, тут много чего.
Meanwhile, this village was liberated by the Ukrainian armed forces a week and a half ago. It is then less than 8 kilometers to the front line.
Апартаменты люкс.
Luxury apartment. This is what it turned out to be, fragments like this. There was a house of 4 owners. Mine is this half, 2 rooms. And from the 2nd to the 3rd of May, a tank came in here and burned it down.
For many here in the Kharkiv region, the behavior of the Russian military has revealed to the true state of affairs in the Russian Federation or in the territories that were occupied by the Russian after 1991. Locals are surprised at the poverty in which they, who are defending Vladimir Putin ideology with arms in their hands, live in their own homes.
Снимали унитазы и забирали домой. Вы пришли куда, ребят?
They removed the toilets and took them home. You came to get a toilet. What would have you sent it to you? Why you did it to come here? Neither the toilet nor the person who removed it got here. They lived here. Clothes, they just pretended to look like locals. This is where they had their headquarters. Here they were, the occupation troops. Here they had ammunition. Our guys took everything. Here they had a shower room, and here they had rooms. They were sleeping here. Looters, thieves, rugs, forks, spoons, panties, carpets. They stole everything. As you can see, what they didn't have time to take away. They used to wear St. George's ribbons as insignia. They wore white armbands on their arms and legs, and made us wear an armband on one arm so that a sniper couldn't kill us. See, this is Senya from the 2nd Squadron. He came to us to make war, a liberator. And here's the fact, so damn lifeguards came to save us.
From the beginning of full-scale war, this bomb shelter became a refuge for dozens of women, men and children.
Здесь жили дети.
Children lived here, some 40 children.
When the village was liberated, the locals were able to leave, but there are still people in the basement.
My dad is Russian, my mom is a native Ukrainian from Kharkiv. My maiden name is Krotova. I want to tell all Russians, and especially I want to tell their Putin, we did not call you to our Ukraine. We are not asking you to free us, Russian-speaking people. On May 3rd, the house burned down to the basement. Both the children and we suffered horrors here. It's scary to even recall. Now our dear soldiers have come. We have come down a bit.
Reported by Anastasia Zhuk, Alexei Idrisov, UATV News.